Hey, everybody. I'm Kelly Ellers.
I'm Jeffrey Lennon.
And this is Volume Up by the Tease. So, Jeffrey, we are paying homage to a hairstylist that was a hairstylist to the stars. She unfortunately passed. However, her name was Carrie White, and she possibly had one of the most interesting careers in our industry back in the day, doing hair for the likes of Elizabeth Taylor and Marlon Brando.
I mean,
right?
Does it get better than those in
No.
Hollywood golden age?
We
love to see it. What a legend.
I mean, so good. Elvis Presley, Lucille Ball, Nancy Reagan, Jimi Hendrix. I mean, she deserved a mention and a shout out on Volume Up. She did note that she cut hair on roller skates in spandex pants and possibly with a gram of coke in her back pocket. She revealed to the LA magazine in 2019.
I mean,
what a badass.
Whatever it takes to get you through, I guess. Wow.
It's a lot.
Yeah. The clientele, the ethic, we love it.
We love it.
Going out after a long career. Good for her.
Yes.
Shout out to Carrie.
On our last episode, I talked with Sharon Choi. Sharon trained as a hairdresser in Los Angeles, where she graduated from the acclaimed Toni and Guy Academy. She later apprenticed as a hair color associate at the prestigious Neil George Salon in Beverly Hills. After learning how to help her clients achieve their dream hair goals during her time at Ramirez Tran in Beverly Hills, she opened up Nova Arts Salon. From there, she transitioned full-time to private appointments only across the client base she developed throughout LA, New York, San Francisco, and Mexico City. She was at Mexico City. If you like learning more about the industry, those who are enacting change and creating a better world, make sure that you subscribe, rate and review, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok. Read the Tease and send in questions to volumeup@thetease.com.
And on this week's episode, we talked with the one and only Shane Wolf. Shane Wolf is the worldwide president for U.S. Brands Professional Products Division at L'Oreal. A trained hairdresser, Shane has spent over 28 years in the professional beauty industry, holding various leadership positions across top professional brands such as Redken, Matrix, Biolage, Kerastase, Shu Uemura, Pureology, Pulp Riot, and Mizani. Throughout his career, Shane has been inspired to build brands with a mission to improve the world through responsible production of products, innovation to reduce the environmental impact, and social causes. You're not going to want to miss this combo. Stay tuned. But before we get there, let's talk about someone who's literally everywhere these days. And he should probably be a guest on the podcast, I think, at some point.
Yes.
He should do us a solid. And I'm sure you guys would love to hear about him or hear from him, excuse me. And that is Chris Appleton. What's he up to these days?
The man, the myth, the legend, I swear. I mean, he's literally everywhere, right? Mm-hmm. He gives us a rundown, actually was in CNN.com, his favorite hair care products, of which some I believe he's an ambassador for. Color Wow made the list. And I must say, I do use me some Color Wow like root touch up because nobody wants to see just a bald head.
Whatever you say, but Color Wow does work wonders. We are not being sponsored to say this. He may have been. That is up to the editors at CNN.com to sort out. They did not necessarily disclose a whole bunch of that. But, it was interesting to see the rundown, honestly, in terms of what he's got in his kit. Were there any surprises for you, Kelly?
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, it was heavily color wowed, which I can get behind. But one thing I have never broke down and purchased is the Mason Pearson mixture brush. They're everywhere. They're $245. I love my OG Olivia Garden. And sometimes I wonder what that brush is all about. Have you experienced the brush?
I've seen it. I've held it. I don't really get the appeal other than the price tag. I mean, you've said it.
It's not that appealing.
Yeah. No. I mean, it's like $250. Inflation, who knows? Maybe it's going to go up some more. It seems like maybe people buy it because of the price tag and not because of its efficacy. That's just a hot take. You heard it here. Yeah. If you guys swear by Mason Pearson's, though, I'd love to hear from you because people like Chris are really hyping it. Does the average everyday stylist feel the same way? I wonder. Yeah, we're just going to leave it at that.
I feel like it's, as my kids would say, a flex move.
Oh, for sure. An ultimate flex.
At times I've been known to whip out my Gucci purse and they're like, Mom, really? You're flexing. I'm like, so what if I am?
So what? Exactly. I mean,
am?
that no harm, no foul. Let's be clear. If you want to use a Mason Pearson, go ahead and do it. It surprised me because in the same breath, he was talking about Tangle Teaser.
Right.
And these two things do not necessarily go together in my brain. One skews pretty cheap. Sorry, Tangle Teaser. The other not. So, I mean, it's a real high-low.
Was that literally, you literally just said the other not? Like no pun intended from the Teasel Tangler.
I mean, we're really doing it today. We are.
All right.
Volume up. The volume is way up on these. This hot take. Speaking of things that are really hot, volume, takes, opinions, the tease.com, all of the stuff. Our editorial team has been hard at work this week, just like every single week, uncovering industry news, looking into trends, diving into brands that you don't know, but you probably should. And here are some of our favorite headlines. Maybe you will feel as passionately about them as we have about a Mr. Chris Appleton on CNN.com.
Indeed.
First up, Sam Villa is the newest member of Unite as One. Congratulations are in order for Sam Villa, the master stylist who currently serves as co-founder and chief creative officer of Sam Villa and global artistic ambassador for Redken, has joined Unite as One, a collective professional association supporting the beauty and wellness industry community. And as an avid believer in artists supporting artists and hashtag brands supporting brands, Villa is determined to see that the evolution of the beauty industry is dependent upon unity. And considering that Unite as One is one of the first groups to initiate a strategic plan among major beauty and wellness associations, his partnership with the collective couldn't be more imperfect. Read more at thetease.com. You're going to see which committee he's joined. Kelly, we love to see it. Unite as One has 4 main areas of concentration. Each field is a think tank: next gen, perception, communication, cultural intelligence. Big things are in store. I want to know from your perspective, you've been in this industry for a while. What are your predictions? What do you think that Unite as One is going to accomplish?
I think it's all about elevating our industry in those kind of areas of concentration, if you will. So getting together the brilliant minds in our industry, some very seasoned like Sam, some newer to the industry, just grabbing all of those perspectives and really helping to sort of modernize certain aspects of our industry. And I know that Sam is specifically serving on the Cultural Intelligence Committee, which
spoiler alert,
is a wonderful fit for him. He's a wonderful, wonderful human, just a great guy all around. We just had him on the pod. And, I think he's doing wonderful things for our industry. So go Sam, go Redken.
Go Sam, go everybody. Yeah, check it out. All right, next up, how celebrity hairstylist and makeup artist Aga Tompkins built a career touring with some of your favorite musical acts. Many people often dream of traveling the world and working with celebs. For Aga Tompkins, it's her actual reality. The beauty industry veteran is the tour hairstylist and makeup artist for Canadian pop star sensation Carly Rae Jepsen, whose infectious hits like I Really Like You, Cut to the Feeling, Party for One, there are others, I won't say them, you can't help but sing and dance along to. And for nearly a decade, Tompkins has been the mastermind behind some of Jepsen's most statement-making hairstyles. The Joan Jett-inspired shag, the fiery copper red hair color that was trending recently, but that she did way back when, and her even signature blunt bangs. With Jepsen's upcoming So Nice tour set to kick off in the fall, the T spoke with Tompkins to get an inside look at the realities of styling killer hair and makeup looks on a big international stage. Ahead, she discusses her on thetease.com. She discusses her start in the industry, her journey with Jepsen, and her advice for aspiring hairstylists, which you're not going to want to miss. The big question, Kelly, is could you even imagine like how insane it is to be part of making some of like the most iconic looks? Aga, we talk a lot about on thetease.com her relationship with Carly Rae Jepsen, but she's got tons of other clientele that you know and love. Again, you got to read it to understand what we're talking about, but it's kind of like it's insane.
I don't know what it would be like. I think it would be a lot of sort of trial and error, right? Because as you're set out to create these new masterpiece looks, do you know if they're going to be a trend? Do you know if they're going to catch on? I don't know.
And like the stage lights and
Right.
the elements and they're sweating
Yeah,
and
I
like
know.
all of it's nutty. And then when it comes out looking as good as it does, it's like a testament to them. I mean, honest to God, like all the claps in the world. It's so crazy.
It is. And I think being around, celebrities, artists, musicians, etc. It's, you're there like in their personal space. Obviously, they are a public facing entity. Like she mentions, advice for stylists who want to work with other celebrities. It's, you have to kind of know your boundaries and be respectful too. And one of the things she put out there is you have to put yourself out there, right? Work with smaller brands, smaller artists to kind of work your way up and kind of prove your worth. So a great chat with her, no doubt.
Absolutely. So much more on thetease.com. So check out that article. The interview is incredible. We just talked a little bit about celebrities. We have strong feelings on this podcast about celebrity beauty brands, mostly that they shouldn't necessarily exist, but they do. They do.
They're popping up everywhere.
They are popping up. They are reformulating. They're doing all sorts of things. And in that vein, there is a new look for Lady Gaga's Haus Labs. Recently, Lady Gaga announced her beauty brand, Haus Labs, was being, quote unquote, reimagined. I did the air quotes for everybody. Now Haus Labs by Lady Gaga, the new old brand, is described as a supercharged, clean artistry makeup powered by innovation. Informed by the power of art, science, and kindness, products are now high-tech and high pigment and high performance. The range features lip oils, full coverage crayons, eye, face, body paints, bronzer, highlighters, eyeliners that are super pigmented, and their award-winning clean brow pencil in 13 inclusive shades. Clean beauty buffs will be thrilled by the new innovation and improvements to formulations, which we detail at length on thetease.com. The question is, Kelly, your thoughts? Did we need to rebrand? What is a rebrand when you really are just reskinning and making it available at Sephora? It's really tough. These are the questions that we got to ask ourselves. But I would love to hear your thoughts on Haus Labs by Lady Gaga.
Yes. So I think certainly capitalizing off of her fame and
incredible
dynamic style and flair, if you will, a good move. But originally she launched this with just Amazon.com. Is that correct? So
that is correct.
The business hat of me has to think that the reskin was necessary to go into some other outlets, perhaps elevate the brand. I don't know how the price points change from the Amazon versus the Sephora move, but I personally love Lady Gaga's story. I've seen her in concert, as we have likely discussed in the past, on and offline. So, I do think it's a right move to, made without more than 2,700 questionable ingredients. Like, what? There were more than 2,700. Like, did anybody ever think about this? Because that's a pretty big whoa. So they're clean at Sephora certified, which I also love. So, we love a good reskin, a rebrand, and I wish her well.
Yeah. I mean, she's going to do it no matter what, right?
Read more about it. We're going to dissuade her. Yeah.
Yeah. No, we're certainly not. We're certainly not. And if you are a Haus Labs by Lady Gaga fan, shopper, aficionado, let us know. We're genuinely curious. The brand's been around now for a minute. As we've said, it's been rebranded. So there's got to be something to it, we'd hope. And we're open to feedback. We want to know. Yeah. As always, so much going on thetease.com. These and many, many, many more stories. Thank you to our hardworking editors. We are proud to publish stories that salon pros and consumers care about.
Up next, my interview with the oh-so-dynamic Shane Wolf himself, the worldwide president for U.S. Brands Professional Products Division at L'Oreal. Let's see what he has to say. We've got that small town, flyover state USA commonality where we both grew up in towns with a, one of everything mentality, one gas station, one grocery store, one stoplight. And it was so cool for me to think about how someone like him could have been in a small town like me and sort of busted out of those parameters of limited beliefs,
Mhm.
and is doing what he's doing today. I mean, the
Mhm.
worldwide president for US brands, like not a bad title.
Nope.
So Shane, thank you for joining me on the pod. It was so awesome to get to know you. Be sure to hit subscribe, rate, and review, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at Read the Tease, and send in questions to volumeup@thetease.com.
Volume Up is a Tease Media production. This episode was produced by Monica Hickey and Madeline Hickey. Brian Daly is our editor and audio engineer. Thank you to our creative team for putting together the graphics for this episode.